5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. Now, here's Tom Silverstein.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. We are here after week 2 of the NFL season, only 15 more to go. You're already a wreck after one loss.
Yes.
I can just see it in your face that it's bothering you that they lost 25-24 to the Atlanta Falcons in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Go. What's wrong?
Obviously, you're not going to go undefeated. And you're going to lose games. Put that to the side. It's how you lose games that fans see it a little bit different than players. Because we don't react like that because it's a long season.
Yeah.
You don't, it's not woe's me, you don't feel sorry for yourself. But you also look at the Saints are going to get this film, and you're going to see that going in this particular game, that they basically only had a couple guys that can make plays. Number 7 and 25. Stop them, make Ritter beat you. If he throws for 400 yards, God help him.
Right.
So when you can't stop the run in the fourth quarter, it does give you heartburn. Because this is the thing that we had a lot of film study about. Because they ran the same thing previously when they beat Carolina, running the football, controlling the tempo. And it almost seemed like they went back and looked at San Francisco from years ago. Even if you're down, just run the football.
Yeah.
And that's what the frustrating thing is.
Well, and they are a good running team.
Yes, yes.
And I think the Packers went into that game afraid of Drake London and Kyle Pitts, especially Kyle Pitts. But, to have those guys be huge factors, the quarterback's got to be a factor. And I didn't see anything that told me that they needed to be afraid of him, did you?
Not at all. I mean, the guy who was more effective was Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
They used him like they do some of these other running backs, like Kamara, who's out next week, I think. Some of these backs, when they're in the game, they're putting them in position to get the ball. I remember Fritz Shermer, I remember him coming in and him saying, listen, we got to stop Barry Sanders. We know that, okay? Everything is around Barry Sanders. And I think at one point he had put like 160 or 70 on us previously. This time we was going to make the quarterback beat us, and we held him to negative yards. So it seemed like to me that, as everybody, if you watched 5 Questions for years, I like Joe Barry's system. And I think most people, that's the first reaction. Get rid of the coordinator. But sometimes I like to give the players all the credit, and I like to judge them harshly because I want them to get paid.
Right.
And I want them to win a Super Bowl. Your players win Super Bowls, win big games. So you needed your veterans, because there was a lot of babies there, let's be honest. You're missing Bakhtiari, you're missing some other guys.
Christian Watson, Aaron Jones.
You're missing all those guys. But you got enough talent to be equal to Atlanta. So it wasn't like you was playing a playoff team that, been to the playoffs. So this is a young team, youngest team in the league, playing another young team, inexperienced quarterback. You have a pretty much inexperienced quarterback for the most part.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that when you couldn't get the ball back, or the second half was tale of two halves.
Yeah. To me, I'm looking for someone of some veteran ability to make a play.
Yeah.
And I think, you think to Jair Alexander dropping that interception, Quay Walker dropping an interception, Rashawn Gary blowing the contain on Desmond Ritter's fourth and 4 run for a touchdown. I just saw too many guys. The outside rushers seemed to lose contain. Like, was anybody reminding them that, contain is your first object? It's like playing Justin Fields. Bijan Robinson's like playing Justin Fields. Don't let him get outside. And it seemed to me like they kept doing it. Now, what did you think? Did Barry make any adjustments in this game?
Well, he did. He went to what we call a bear front. And it seemed to work, but it seemed to put stress on playing man-to-man, and that's where the London comes in He didn't even have a catch last week.
Right.
Bijan Robinson, I mean, he had 6 targets last week, caught 6 balls, but it seemed like they were going to get the ball to London, and they weren't scared of 23.
No.
They weren't scared of that. But the first interception, when Douglas got the interception, you think, okay, now they're going to just start to run the ball, but you got to force him to keep throwing. So when they were having some success on the few passes, especially the touchdown, they're thinking, although we're behind, we're going to still run the ball to get back into it, because you got a reprieve when their Pro Bowl kicker missed the extra point.
Yeah.
And you okay, the first quarter was a little sloppy, and then you got it back on track. And the reason why I wanted to talk about defense first, because for this team, the youngest team in the league, to go anywhere, the defense can't play good. They got to play great.
Right.
Because most of the babies are on offense. Defense, you got grown men. So, and 52 got to get his legs under him, because if you're going to redirect like that, guys get outside of you, it's going to hurt the team. So you got to keep contained. Keep these guys in the pocket. Now, Derek Carr is not going to move around.
No.
He's a pocket guy.
Right.
But, again, film study without the coaches to say, if I keep this guy in the pocket, he may throw us something, and he will.
Yeah.
But the more you get him outside the pocket, you get quarterbacks a two-way option.
But the message to me is they have a really good pass rush, because early on when Ritter was trying to pass the ball, I mean, Kenny Clark was in the backfield almost every single play.
Can't block
They
him.
could not block him.
Right.
Slayton was pressure. And then they just said, okay, forget it. We're just going to move these guys laterally and put it on the edges to tackle our guy. Because you're essentially taking the defensive line out of the game when you're running those wide plays, right?
Yep.
So then you're putting it on the linebackers and the safeties and the corners, and they did, and that was a winning recipe for them.
Yeah, Quay Walker had like 17 tackles, and Campbell had like 14 tackles. And I think a lot of that has to do out on the perimeter. But they knew that going into the game.
Yeah.
So if you go into where you put 59 on the outside, like a bear front, it works, but it does put stress on the secondary.
Right. Then it puts stress on the second.
But the secondary should be good enough to cover those receivers with no help.
You're veteran secondary. It's not like you're playing with a bunch of rookies.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
Douglas, Alexander,
Yes.
Savage, and Ford, and Keyshawn Nixon. So, yeah, I think a lot goes on the secondary, although, you know, except for the deep ball, I thought Savage was pretty decent.
Yeah.
So, you know, Douglas was solid. So I don't know. But you look at it, 25 points isn't horrendous. And they did have a couple of good stops, you know, where they made them settle for field goals. If the offense is clicking a little better than it did, then they probably win the game too. So to me, it's kind of shared. But what did you think about the offense?
See, I just don't. I'm a little biased here. There's no bumper sticker that says offense wins championships. Defense wins championships. But to cover the offense, the first quarter really, it just wasn't a good start. It really wasn't. But for some reason, they got back on track. So when Aaron Jones is not there, taking away that threat, a dual threat, it's a lot on A.J. Dillon. And got to pick his feet up. He got to know there's always going to be people around your feet. They're not going to hit you up high. They're not going to do that. So people are always going to be around your feet. They're always going to swipe at your feet. And you got to learn how to pick them feet up and get into the secondary. Because I thought the offensive line, for all the musical chairs, with Newman coming in at guard, Josh Nyman came in too, I thought they did pretty well.
There weren't a lot of jailbreaks, you know, like right at Love that he had to just take a dash.
Yeah, he had full control over the offense, but he had 15 carries, 55 yards, 31 came in, got a few carries, but there was holes he could hit, but guys are going to always reach out. I remember there was a guy named Marion Butts.
Oh, yeah.
At Florida
I remember
State.
Miriam. was.
And he played with the Chargers.
Yep.
And we used to have these conversations. And he said, I finally realized that most guys are not going to hit me from the torso up, because he would punish guys.
Yeah, yeah.
They're going to hit me in the calf down. And he realized that. So when he started picking his feet up in traffic, he got further. He turned out to be a pretty good back.
Yeah.
That's what A.J. Dillon has got to be a featured back. Pick the feet up. It's always going to be guys around your leg. You have a good test. Now, I don't know if Aaron Jones is going to be available, but I think when Christian Watson gets back, they're going to be explosive, but they already are explosive on offense at times.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you got Wicks, who we'll show that in Exit. Oh, stay tuned for that. You got young guys out there making plays. That's got to be very, very encouraging.
I know. It's extremely encouraging when you're thinking about the long haul. Like, what is this team in week 16 if everybody's healthy on offense?
Exactly.
You know.
Well, that being said, now I was a little thrown back by Bakhtiari not playing. Did you?
Good, yeah.
Okay,
Good thing you brought it up, yeah.
Yeah, because I was wondering, I saw Walker in there, and I don't know, maybe they did say it, I didn't catch it at the beginning, but I didn't know if he was deactivated, he played it, did he get hurt? I just didn't know.
Yeah, so Bakhtiari was inactive.
Okay.
And if you listen to him talk about, I think it was about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, he said, I can't ever predict what shape my knee's going to be in. He said, I've given up trying to predict. You know, I do what they tell me to do. He does all his exercises and whatever preparations, and sometimes the knee cooperates and sometimes it doesn't. And apparently this was the time he got swelling in the knee, and they just weren't going to put him on the field, you know, with swelling in his knee.
Yeah.
So
that's on any surface.
It's going to be like that all year. Yeah. And I think there's going to be weeks he can't play and weeks he can play. And the good part, you know, if there's, you know, a good side for the Packers, it's that Rasheed Walker gets all the snaps in practice.
Yes.
Bakhtiari doesn't practice.
The offensive line coach, man, you got to give these guys a lot of credit.
Yeah, well, Royce Newman went in there at left guard when Elton Jenkins went down and did pretty well. Now, losing Elton Jenkins is huge.
Yes.
It's not a long-term injury towards MCL, which, as we know, doesn't require surgery, and typically, you know, he might be out a month. You never know.
Maybe
but
longer.
Was
it on the hurt knee that he hurt before?
Yeah, yeah. But he just got A.J. Dillon just kneed him right in the side as he was running. It does. You get hit in the side, you tear the MCL. It happens a lot. So
without 64, 69 healthy, but again, I didn't see Jordan Love running for his life.
No. Now, they had some options on the offensive line.
Yes.
They could move Zach Tom to left guard.
Tom would play with her. He just wanted to give me a jersey. I'll play.
And then move Yosh Nijman to right tackle, or Caleb Jones, give him a chance.
Yes.
Or they got that Luke Tenuta, who they like a lot. I'm not sure if he's ready yet. But would you just fly with Newman at this point, or were you scared about doing that?
No, to me, I think it's almost like whoever's hot, who great the best.
Right.
That's what we're going to go ahead. Because I will say this, the Saints defense, they don't normally give up over 20 points. I think they're on a long streak of doing that. This is a big, physical, grown man defense, the Saints.
Yeah.
Okay? It's hard to run on them. It's hard to throw on them. But if you're fundamentally sound, there's some big plays to be had. But, again, go through practice, as you said, go through our work, see if 33 can be healthy, because you're going to have to run the ball.
Yeah.
You got to run the ball in the Saints, because that's where the big plays come down the field when you're running the ball. So I think the offensive line was great. 88 to me, man, Musgrave to me is going to be a problem. They got to get the ball to him more. Matter of fact, if I was into the meeting, which I have no say-so or key to get in there, 88 getting this ball. He getting 10 targets a game. I'm dead serious. Every quarter he getting 2 targets because he's just that good. There's a reason why they took him high.
Yeah, he's a big man who can run.
And he's a problem. He does have to get him a little bit more of a base when he's doing double team blocking.
Yep. And when he's turning and running and gathering himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
But can I be honest for a minute?
Uh,
I don't care if he blocks. Don't edit that part out, Bill. Come on, man. I mean, I want him out there like Kelsey, to be honest with you. I want a pass-catching tight end who's 6'6", 6'7", runs a 4.4 when he's healthy, and nobody can cover him. When you split him out, he's like a receiver. And you can tell how giddy the coaches are over him.
Yeah, I don't think they've explored, what they can do with him.
It's coming.
I think they're.
It's coming.
Yeah, being a little bit.
Yeah.
That's okay. But ease him in, and then they'll spring him. Maybe it'll be against Detroit. They'll have a whole.
That's a good point.
Package or something.
Yeah,
like
because
that.
you want him to be like the T.J. Hawkinson types, and these guys, these fast tight ends that gets a lot of targets.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'll say real quick about the offense, Tom, that has to clean up. I sound like Mike McCarthy. 71 and 10 has to be synchronized.
Mm-hmm.
Myers and Love has to be brothers. Brett Favre's best friend was Frank Winters. No disrespect to Chimura. I love Chimura. But that's his guy. That'll let you know that, and I like the fact he took accountability on the quarterback sneak. But time of possession, protection. They had a couple of protection issues. So they got to really be synchronized. Because I can go quick when they're running in and off, like Rodgers used to do. So that's something they need to work on after practice.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when I want it and when I don't want it. So that'll really help.
Yeah. Supposedly, Love said that he forgot the word. He said the wrong word, for
I like
the
that
sneak.
he put it on him, though.
Yeah.
Normally, I remember T-Buck, we was doubling a guy, and it was T-Buck's fault, but it was national televised. He went over to me and said, "It's my fault. It's my fault."
So it looked like he was chewing you out.
Yeah. I said, "It's okay. It happens. It doesn't matter whose fault it is."
But all of TV thought it was your fault. Right?
Exactly. And I just assumed the responsibility. Because, listen, I'm a Pro Bowler. It's supposed to be my fault.
Right.
He appreciated that, but at the same time, I like the accountability. It makes you a better player. It really does.
Yeah. Last thing, totally different subject. You played with Deion Sanders at Florida State. What's your take on what he's done at Colorado?
Well, I tell you what, it was a viral video of a coach yelling at this player, talking to him, degrading him. Deion don't do that. He loves his players. You saw him talking to the kid Horn Jr. He said this, and this, gave him a hug. Guess what? The kid goes and have a great game.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get the most out of your players in college. And that's what other coaches, they're not like that. It's a dictatorship. I know everything you don't. But Deion's like, no, I'm going to give you my knowledge to go out there to think that you're the best at every position. That's a therapist. That's a financial advisor.
Mm-hmm.
That's a teacher, everything you need. That's what you get out of coaching. That's what Coach Bowden was, and I think that's the reason why Colorado. Now, they're going to get into the meat of their schedule with Oregon and USC. But so far, if you want the best out of your kids, the best out of your players, you love them. You don't disrespect them, especially when it's a national television game.
Yeah, well, his kids definitely, got some genes of his because they are really athletic. But they're like different. They're different players, and they're his son plays quarterback, is a heck of a player.
Oh, he's gonna be a top 2 pick.
He's really good.
Yeah, and that's you when you're watching football pros and college, you learn from that. You see how anybody can be your friend when you get a big raise. Who's gonna be my friend when I lose my job? I need to borrow money, and people bail on you sometimes. So that's the thing about the Packers. You lose to Atlanta. You don't read social media, but if you come in this weekend, alumni weekend, which most of the players be 100 players there, and you beat them, get back to 2-1, because it's a lot of 0-2 teams, and that takes me to my prediction, because I really would say the Saints. I didn't expect for them to be 2-0, but they are. Derek Carr. Micah Thomas is back. Chris Olave, nephew, 23. That's your guy, okay? This guy's a deep threat. He's going down the field. So redeem yourself on a pick six, or Derek Carr will throw it right to you.
Yep.
That's just a fact. So I think the Packers will win an ugly one, 20-17.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is at home. I mean, Jordan Love first game at home, regular season game at home. It'd be a lot of electricity there. And Matt LaFleur, he gets very aggressive at home, and I like that. So I tell the team, man, don't all the negative stuff. Let the media handle that.
Right.
Do what they say. Allegedly, the guys were talking to each other in the locker room after the game. Okay, I do this, you do that. Oh, okay, I got you next time. They love each other. The negative stuff, it doesn't matter. You control who wins the game. We don't control that.
Yeah.
So don't take anything personal. Somebody said on social media or something, whose fault it was. Let the fans figure that out. Stay together, and that's how you win the games. Again, you're the youngest team in the league. Just don't play like it on Sunday.
All right. You got someone you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Pick and Save, of course. You can get my Leap Vodka there, of course, and the famous Leaping Lemonade with me and Robin Yao. Matter of fact, we'll be at the Brewers game on the 29th. I think they play the Cubs that last game there, so that'll be out of control. Go to LeRoyButlerInc.com. You'll see all my great sponsors there for my Leap into Wellness Summit. We got a few spots left. It's free for all kids. Go there to register. And again, I want to thank Statewide.Fencing.com and MilwaukeeWindowGuys.com. They got the best windows and doors anywhere. They'll match any price, guaranteed. Thank you very much. And stay tuned for Exit O's.
Yeah.
We got a couple
We're
plays.
using our fancy machine back here.
Yes,
So
yeah. One of these days, we're going to put your face up there.
look, your name just came up huge.
I like that. Thank you, Bill.
Okay. Bye-bye.